This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Tom, I don't know if you're as excited about Happy Gilmore 2 potentially going into production as I am, but I know you're excited to have spring football back. The guys, this morning, you'll basically leave the interview and probably head over to the practice facility.
Maybe right outside of it waiting.
You might be. Where are you right now? You're outside the facility?
Morning, guys. I'm parked in the lot, ready to walk in at a moment's notice. Y'all, I wanted to say Carl Weathers, man, because, of course, Carl Weathers. But what was the other question? Happy Gilmore. I thought the scene between Baum-Walker, the fight scene, Barker and Adam Sandler is one of the classic scenes of all time, but certainly for sports movies. So they got to come up with something to try to, duplicate that hysteria.
All right, so spring football gets back underway today, and we'll hear from Sam Pittman coming up in a couple of days. What are the storylines heading back into the resumption, which I'll tell you, I've never understood why you have a few practices, break for spring break, come back, but that's what they have done for years.
Yeah, it's just to set up when they want the spring game to be and et cetera. So, I mean, I get it. I think today you look at, how well do they look? Do they look rusty? I certainly thought the defense had the better day on the Thursday of the scrimmage, which was a 72-play scrimmage, which was, man, they came out of it, other than Luke has, which didn't happen in the scrimmage, they came out of it relatively healthy, but still there were some great plays by the offense. So they're going to implement some new defensive schemes. So we'll take a look at what those look like, and just kind of see how well they can, see if the snap can be better than the start of the last week, and what the run game looks like. I'm not sure if they're full pads or, if there's going to be any tackling today.
That was my next question. Give me an up, because I have lost track on where they're at in regards to shoulder pads and helmets versus full pads. And when I'm sure by Saturday, when there's another scrimmage, it'll be full tilt boogie.
Right. Yeah. I'm not sure. It's going to be indoors. It looks like it's pretty cold up here today, 35 or so. It was kind of windy. So, I'm sure it's their option. They've obviously been in full pads already a couple of times. So we'll find out on that in just a few minutes.
Tom Murphy with us here on the McCarty-Daniel Hotline. Tom, what do you think about the NFL ruling that just came out about the hip tackling? What are your thoughts on hip drop tackle? I got to get used to saying that. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think they floated it so it would be discussed, because I'm not sure, but I don't think it's been finalized. Based on the reactions from the NFL Players Association and the defensive people, they don't want it to be reality. It just makes it harder. It's another judgment decision that could alter the outcome of a game. I like the horse collar and those things that came in, but the hip drop, sometimes the cornerback trying to get a big tight end like Travis Kelce down has to kind of put their weight down. And, you don't want any knees and legs and stuff, but it's just part of the game. And I hope that the hip drop tackle does not become outlawed.
What do you have thought about the NFL offseason thus far? I mean, Dallas Cowboys haven't made, it looks like, any changes within their franchise, and I know a lot of people are mad at Jerry. What has been the NFL storyline to you thus far this offseason?
Obviously the movement of Kirk Cousins was big for us. There's been others. My friends who are Cowboys fans are a little bit frustrated, but the Cowboys franchise has been pretty solid. I mean, when their run game, 2 or 3 years ago, I guess they still had Zeke and then Pollard, but, they had that massive year. It's just a matter of what you do, and their defense is great. What kind of mojo you have when you get to the playoffs. And in this particular year, the Packers had more mojo than they did. And, I don't see them – I don't know what they'll do, but you don't have to make a lot of changes on defense right now.
Yeah. Tom Murphy with us on the McClarty-Daniel Hotline. Tom, baseball is going to be front and center this week, and we got Arkansas playing Little Rock tonight. That game, or actually this afternoon, they moved the game up. But the LSU series that begins on Thursday, I think, is going to be the focus of not just our fans, but college baseball fans around the country. What are you anticipating this week? LSU's kind of backed in a corner. Chuck and us we were talking about this yesterday. This is when teams like LSU are at their most dangerous is when they've got to win to keep on pace in this league.
No doubt. Boy, if the Razorbacks had held on in the Saturday game against Auburn, that 5-1 lead, which could have grown, they'd be 6-0. They'd be 3 games clear of the rest of the SEC West, which is really hard to picture. I agree. I think LSU is going to be dangerous. As long as you have these 3 starters, you're going to put yourself in all the games. I did mention last Thursday that, the pitch counts for Tigert and Molina, the way they hit batters and walk batters, sometimes you worry. One team can launch a ball and do some damage on you. So what happened in the Saturday game, Molina got out of that big jam, I think, in the 4th inning, but his pitch count had gotten up. And so they had to go to the bullpen in the 6th, and it kind of fell apart on them. Just a couple of, the solo home run, the bunt single where Dossett fell down, and then it just kind of piled up on them. And so that's what you got to worry about if you're Arkansas is Molina and Tiger throwing too many pitches and having to go too many innings with your bullpen. So, you want to see a little bit more hitting than Arkansas got in the opener last week in the 1-0 game, but they're at home. There's going to be a whole lot of attention placed on this. Defending champion against the top team in the SEC right now.
Yeah, and you look at I was talking yesterday about LSU's schedule. You look at where they started with Mississippi State, Florida, Arkansas, Vanderbilt, Tennessee on a roll. That is a brutal first 5 weeks that LSU faces.
Really, really is. And, they're still trying to sort some things out. They've had a couple of runs where a couple of games where their pitching staff has really let them down. There's been some games where their hitting's a little bit head-scratching. But, that they're going to be competitive. They're going to get through these 5 weeks and still have a chance in the second half of the conference season. And they're just a dangerous team. And, the name on the jersey, LSU, always carries a substantial amount of weight with as many championships as they've won.
We saw Will McEntire, Tom, be put in a closing situation. I know that Gackle, I think, has 5 saves on the year, had a chance to close another. Played a little bit more this weekend. But do you think when push comes to shove for a regional or a super or maybe a chance to do something in Omaha that Dave kind of might switch up the rotation, put Mac in that closing role rather than just out of the bullpen?
Well, he very well could. And the thing with this staff is you can mix and match as you need. And their goal, I think, every weekend is to try to get McEntire 2 appearances. And so if that's the last 2 innings on a Friday game, or in Thursday in this case, and then another inning or so in the final game, then that's what they'd like to do. The way he has pitched, you heard a comparison of the Kevin Kopps type wipeout slider pitch. He's been very dominant so far. And yes, Gackle's got 5 saves, but I think they would fully trust McEntire to close games out, whatever they need.
See, we were talking about the game tonight and then playing Little Rock and kind of how it fits into this weekend. And I made the point earlier, and I want to see if you agree. There's still so much inter-squad competition for innings, for at-bats, for playing time, to be a pinch runner, whatever it is. You can look at probably 6 or 7 of the spots in the field still up for grabs on the day-to-day basis. I think there's a lot of competition that makes games like tonight interesting because guys want to make their case to Dave Van Horn why they should get more time in the rotation.
Absolutely true. I don't know if 7 spots are open, but I get your point. Will Edmondson had a couple of good games in Auburn. Can Jason Jones assert himself back in the lineup? He might get a shot tonight. The catcher position, it kind of changes. And then there's been games, a backup catcher, Helfrich, wins, game 2 at Auburn. And then Hudson White came around. He had more hits last weekend, so you want to keep him going. They can all make all kind of moves, defensive moves, pinch hitter moves with their catchers, which is really neat. And I think you're right. Dave even mentioned it on Saturday that there's so many arms that didn't get used that, like Flaherty and there's some others that they want to see probably pitch tonight also to make decisions on whether they're included on the weekend roster.
BetOnline is your #1 source for all your betting needs. Get the latest odds, lines, and matchup reports for baseball, boxing, golf, and more. BetOnline continues to be the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino and card games available to play right from your phone. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and get in on the action. Remember to use our promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet online, where the game starts.